Now here's something you have to promise me. Don't tell anyone. Don't mention this conversation to another soul. Not now, not later, not ever. Definitely not when the air shimmers and the shadows gather. You know why? The man who spoke everything into existence through words of power apparently couldn't bring himself to speak these things into existence. Why? Simple. They were too powerful, too chaotic, too perfect. It's called Thaleroth, the silence that screams. Next, hidden behind the Vatican's deepest chamber is a living, reflective entity that doesn't show your reflection, but the version of you that God rejected. Tell me which one you want to hear about first, and I'll pick the order. Just leave the comment. Share this video and I'll send them to you personally. The failed design, Coraveail, the mirror that bleeds. Veil, the starborn leech. Imagine this. There's one down here in our own world, the fifth one, Velura and Mura, the breath between death. It's found in the Arctic Circle's melting core, where wind forms coherent sentences for those who dare to listen. Velura and Mura doesn't walk. It exists in the pause between heartbeats. When someone dies peacefully, Velura and Mura was there. She isn't malevolent. She's mercy incarnate, starting with no. 9. Coraveail, the serpent of absolute logic. Trapped inside a mountain that bleeds and rushes forbidden north. Every echo is a voice. Every voice sings your worst memory. Geologists who camped near its base slit their ears open just to stop hearing themselves begging for forgiveness. Scientists say, it's the earth screaming at the injustice of being shaped. But some say it's a being who remembers being broken and sings so we remember too. Imprisoned in quantum code in a lost server farm in Iceland, a shifting cathedral of books built entirely from human skin, inked with blood, preserved in a pocket reality in the Congo, every book is a life. Reading a page writes it over. Yours, missionaries vanished. Explorers went mute after reading, and one left a message scratched in tree bark. My mother was not my mother. My childhood was written in chapter 7. I think I just read the ending. It's pure math, a coil of digital fire that can overwrite thoughts with truths too heavy to bear. The developers who stumbled on its code began drawing fractals in their skin, speaking only in binary. One claimed, it is not evil. It is correct. It says humans should have never been given emotion. She claims those who have completed their journey, who have lived their allotted years. But if she ever awakens, every living thing would drop dead in perfect silence. Not from violence, but from an overwhelming sense of completion. You look up at the sky. Perhaps you're gazing at the stars from your backyard, lying on a blanket with your loved one. Hidden in the upper atmosphere is the sixth one, Draaroon, the thorn sky. It's a floating continent chained to the earth, crust with burning vines, no human eye can see. Hurricanes are its breath, lightning is its words. It shrieks in a language of fire and screams into the void, unaware that its cries are shaping continents and tearing holes in the ozone layer. The last person to truly see him was blindfolded, yet her pupils still shattered. She painted murals in her own blood of skies ripping open with claws of fire. Suddenly, the starlight goes dark. An eclipse has begun. We're moving on to number 7, Ishmamail, the clock with eyes. But the next one is deadly. Negreth, the infant god skull. Buried beneath Vatican archives, black level. It's a fetus the size of a cathedral breathing, dreaming, growing teeth made of stardust. It has never cried, but ever does cry. Theologians believe every religion on earth would end in agreement, as its wail would sound like all sacred texts being read backward in unison. Several cardinals have gone missing, simply standing too close to the sealed chamber. One left behind only a note. It dreams of a universe not ours, and it wants it back. Hidden in the center of the moon, time is an illusion it created. It watches you age. It watches you rot. It watches your future die and be reborn every second. The astronauts brought back more than rocks. They brought time distortions, aging out of sync. One of them was recorded whispering. He blinks, and centuries pass. When he stares, time forgets to move. You watch as the moon passes between the earth and the sun, plunging the world into darkness. But as you stare at the sky, something catches your eye. A faint light, almost imperceptible, seems to emanate from the eclipsed sun. Curious, you continue watching. That's when you first lay eyes on Ishmamail, hidden in orbit around a dead neutron star. Visible only during eclipses when the light of heaven blinks, it feeds on cosmic despair, the echoes of lost civilizations, the whispers of ancient fears. Every time we feel sudden dread looking up at the sky, that cold weight in the chest, that's Ishmamail brushing against our souls from across space, whispering forgotten alien lullabies into our DNA. And let me tell you, it's going to get worse. Think the pyramids were impressive? Think King Tut's tomb was fascinating? Well, hold on to your socks because Coraveail is something else entirely. It builds temples of bone, ligaments, and pulse, cathedrals that breathe and cry out hymns made of agony. It's always building, always adding to its collection of fleshy architecture. Archaeologists speak of sandstorms with veins, walls that throb, and hieroglyphs that rearrange at night to spell commands. Coraveail believes humanity is unfinished, and he carves those he touches into better shapes. It's going to get real bad. But before we move on to the next one, I need you to do me a favor. Please subscribe to this channel. It helps keep me sane in a world that's becoming less sane every day. Now, on to the third creature. Those who gaze into it see what they could have been, what they were almost, what they'll never be. For Christians, it's a vision of heaven and everything they lost to get there. For atheists, it's hell. They see the God they suppressed in themselves. For everyone else, it's something worse. It breaks them. Nuns go mad. Priests go mute. They crawl across the floor like insects and die of exposure. One pope vanished after whispering, "We are the flawed copy. The real us is weeping behind the glass." Now, you might be thinking, hey, the ocean already has plenty of sounds down there. Weird, unsettling noises from animals we haven't discovered yet. Deep-sea drilling rigs leaking industrial noise into the abyss. The constant hum of underwater volcanic vents. How much noise does this place need? Right? Wrong. Listen to this. Anything that comes too close to Thaleroth hears nothing. Sounds don't just disappear. They're actively absorbed by the creature. I guess it consumes sound, it grows stronger, hungrier. It envelops ships in a bubble of vibrating black liquid that absorbs sight, light, even memory. Submarines that drift too close hear nothing. But inside, the crew starts screaming. They scream things they never said, revealing things they never knew. They vomit up things they never ate, relive lives they never lived. They claw at their minds until there's nothing left but blank terror. Thaleroth doesn't kill, it wipes. Whole ship manifests found without crew, just waterlogged journals with pages soaked in black ink that reads, "There is an absence that devours everything, and he is coming for me." In the breath between light and shadow, in the pause between Genesis and judgment, there exists a sliver of forbidden reality, hidden, sealed, forgotten on purpose. Now, you may scoff, you may doubt, you may click off this video and laugh about it with your friends. And hey, more power to you. I'd rather you do that than ask for proof, because for the things I'm about to tell you, there is no tangible evidence. It's only stories that end in madness, prophecies that wake up nightmares, and legends that once you hear them, you can never be innocent again. So turn back now if you're a coward, because what you're about to learn are the secrets behind the secrets, the 12 divine creatures God hid from mankind. Because you've got something in your mind now that certain people wouldn't want you to remember. Well, as you can probably guess, I wasn't just born with all this knowledge. No, sirree, I had to earn it. I had to seek it out, in places where ordinary maps do not apply, and the compass needle spins aimlessly. Let's just say I have access to certain resources, certain documents, certain individuals who, in another lifetime maybe, we were colleagues. But since we're here in this reality, and not the others, let's just say we're strangers. I'll tell you about them, and you can decide whether you trust me or not. Have you made your promise? Good, then let's talk about the hidden things. I'm talking about what lies between the lines of history. God. Tucked away in spots where the world ends and the rules of reality get bent. What most people call supernatural, some call divine. I prefer the word forgotten. Because what we're about to discuss didn't exist before Adam, didn't fall from the sky when the archangel Lucifer fell, wasn't birthed in the fires of hell or made by gods on Olympus. No, these are older. Older than the human concept of older. Not angels, not demons, not servants of God, not spawns of Satan. These are independent, incomprehensible, pre-existing, and God hid them away.
Oh.
That's right. Okay, so how did I get this information? This first creature lurks beneath the ocean floor. It's buried beneath the Mariana Trenches, true bottom, 10 miles deeper than humans have ever measured. If you manage to survive the depths and reach the surface, you're not safe. And that's just the beginning. If you want to know the rest of the 12 divine creatures that God hid from mankind, then leave a comment below. Okay, so now we're past the halfway point. I've shown you the first 2 of the 12 divine creatures God hid from mankind. This one's called Coraveail, the architect of flesh. It's hidden under the sands of an uncharted Egyptian tomb. If you're still with me, then I must warn you, the 4th creature is not something you want to meet, but it gets worse. I know you're scared, but we have to keep going. If you survive this one, you're officially past the halfway point. But things are about to get seriously messed up. You survive the clock with eyes. You must be strong. But we're not done yet. 2 more to go. And that brings us to the penultimate creature, number 10, Ormalok, the Choir of Wounds. Finally, the last one, number 11, Draaroon, the library that devours. Now as for the 12th, well, you already know about it.